Hello everyone and welcome to this video featuring the all new layout of Gridline Racing in Lincoln. Now, we've been here before. There is a video up on the channel. I'll try to stick a link up in the top corner of the video if you want to go watch that. But yes, this layout is 4 days old at the time of us visiting, and yeah, I prefer it. I'll be honest. It's just this downhill part that changed. Whether it opened up more overtaking opportunities, I'll leave that to you guys to decide. But yeah, me and 3 of my work colleagues, we headed over to Gridline and did 4 15-minute sessions, and this is the video showing it. Now, the first thing I will mention though is the grip levels. It was mentioned on Gridline's Facebook page that they replaced Tyres ahead of the final super pole session on the old layout, and the guys went out there, they set all new fastest lap times, and from our visit on the 18th of August to this on the 16th of September, there is so much more grip in the tyres, and it took a bit of getting used to for me. This is only my 3rd time in a car for the last 20 years. It's worth mentioning I am now 40, so, you know, half my lifetime ago before I was in a car. And I've probably weighed a little bit less as well. But the format of these sessions, if you're not familiar, is 15-minute time sessions. Basically, go for it, set your fastest lap, and that's how it's determined. So there's no actual race. Someone past the shoot, it doesn't matter. I like this format. Just essentially, yes, you've got other cars to worry about, but it's just you and your car going flat out. You're not racing the other people. So yeah. Well, I say you're not racing the other people. It does get competitive out there, and unfortunately in this first session there were a couple of incidents, and unfortunately, and it's no fault of the staff here at Gridline, blue flags were flying for some drivers and they just ignored them, which is a shame, because it's when you're out there trying to set the fastest lap you can, it's kind of annoying that you can't really do that if you've got a car ahead of you. And yeah, unless you're really skilled around this track, there's only 1 or 2 places you can make a car, and the other car basically determined to hold you behind, there's not a whole lot you can do. And it was actually mentioned to me by my colleagues after this first session, need to be a bit more assertive, and I know that I'm a bit too much of a gentleman driver sometimes, and it does lead to me getting past out there. It does lead to me getting held up, but you know, we live and learn. Anyway, the lap times now, I can't actually see what it says on the screen, but there is a screen downstairs, and it basically goes 1st to 3rd on the top row, 4th to 6th, 7th to 9th, and you can get a brief look on the start finish straight, see where you are, not necessarily always get a chance to look at your lap time, because obviously you're looking at the next corner going through, but yeah, you can get an idea of how well you're doing. And unfortunately, as you can see, I'm kind of getting stuck behind this guy. He's fast enough to almost hold me off. One of my work colleagues there, Craig, going through. As I say, I couldn't get by the guy. There's no point holding other people up if they want to have a go at him. Have at it. Unfortunately here, as you can see, we're catching up to another driver. is what it is. Not everyone here is going to be on the same level, and when you book on, even if you book with a bunch of mates, you're not booking exclusive track time. They can handle 12 karts in a session, and so you will get other people in there. They may be faster than you, they may be slower than you. It's one of those things, you've got to be aware of it, and you know, we're all out there to have fun at the end of the day. There. The guy ahead of us doing a good job of holding Craig off, and Craig is generally quick to me. And unfortunately, the guy behind, I didn't get to see which driver it was, but yeah, a little impatient there and just turns me around, puts me in the barrier. So one thing I like about Gridline is they do have lights all around, as well as, you know, your manned stations. So lights go out, you're going to see it straight away. Rules are, here red, come to a safe stop. Don't just slam your anchors on necessarily and have someone pile in at the back of you or spin yourself out, but bring yourself to a stop as soon as you can. The exception being if you're going up the hill or down the hill, keep the power on, get yourself to the top of the hill, then come to a safe stop. Bring yourself down the hill slowly, come to a stop down the bottom. Common sense, really. But yeah, unfortunately after that event I did find myself sort of stuck behind a couple of cars. And yeah, figured I'd try a few different lines, see how I get around. See, I let someone else go. And actually back off here, nothing wrong with my car. Just figured I'd give them a couple of corners, get away from me. And I was surprised, actually, how quickly I caught up to them again. I thought I might get a lap or two in. But you shouldn't see, less than half a lap later and I'm stuck with them again. So I figured, you know, let's do a bit of racing, let's see if we can take these guys on. See the number 8 here, you know, good job holding me off. And for me it's a bit of fun, some other people get a bit frustrated. Here he lets me go on the faster part of the track, and that's actually a great place. If you do find yourself out there and you're against slower karts, it's a great place to let someone by. Now we see the fastest of the FMF guys, Brian Pierce, alongside. And again, when we do get underway, just communicating there, let him go. Me, I can learn more sat behind him than I can holding him up. Not quite sure what the incident was at that point, but quickly get it sorted and we're underway again. Now this is about halfway through the session, coming up to 2/3 of the session now. Don't have the lap times to hand. It's worth mentioning the lap times are slower on this configuration than the previous one. But we all agreed it did seem faster. I just wish I get those couple of extra seconds that the top guys are getting around here. You can't really say that they've got more experience of the track because So this is brand new layout, only 4 days old at the time of racing this. Get a bit of action here. Unfortunately here, the guy was overdriving on the outside bumping wall, which allowed me to get through. Even at this point, I'm still getting a bit of oversteer, and I'm sure that is more down to my kart control than kart. But I'm happy with my performance in this session. May not even be the fastest over 40 driver to take on this course, but I can live with the result. Interestingly though, don't actually put the info up in this video. 915 drivers have booked times. Now whether that is in these 4 days or whether that takes in all of these sessions, I'm unsure. But I do finish the night 135th out of 915, so you know, I can live for that. You see, finally getting a bit of clean air. This is where I managed to put in the fastest lap of the session. If any of you pros watch this though, and give me any tips down in the comments. Greatly appreciated, especially for those last few corners. It's best to run middle between the hairpins. If you want to go wide, the final one, and use the whole track, you guys let me know. The thing is, are you going around full power or are you lifting up? Because that's the other thing I was playing with. And break there for me, Marine. I'm very grateful for. Just a couple of minutes left of the session now. Tell by the helmet camera, having a quick cheeky glance at the leaderboard. Something that got very tricky towards the end of the night, and I'll leave that for the second part video. I'm going to break the evening down into 2 videos like I did previously, just so you can check that out. Weird interference there. Actually, what went on there, but another regular run around the lap. Didn't miss anything too crazy. Here you see, come around to the red flag and caught me a bit by surprise. Anyway, I got waved round for another lap, which in a way seemed a bit pointless because I'd already stopped at that point, so I wouldn't be setting any new lap times on this from. Yeah, that was the first session under. And I feel like the video doesn't convey the sense of speed that you actually get from these. As you can see, finish 6th in this session, the 35.655. And Ryan, who passed me on our little break session there, getting the fastest time. Right, on to the second session. And this was our out lap. It's a bit hit and miss sometimes whether we get the full recording or not. Sometimes we are missing a little bit at the start. But we're now coming over the start finish line for a first flying lap anyway. So, not missing too much. Again, I believe we were on it with the same bunch of guys from the first session. But a chance for all of us to try and improve our times. And I've been given a little tip by my colleagues between the races where they not only mentioned being more assertive, but they actually said you don't have to lift at the top of the hill. Because previously I'd always a little lift just to let the car settle as you come over the crest, but turns out, yeah, you can actually run it without that lift. Not sure where the 10 cart come from, but yeah, certainly overdriving and we leave him behind there. Yeah, this is the section riding behind Ryan where we actually set our fastest lap on lap 4. So very early on. There's a collision there. Not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Figure I'll take the position and run with it. Till at least the point where I feel I'm holding anyone up again. But I'll be honest, in this session I really didn't feel like I had that issue. Yeah, I'm checking behind me there. See where the carts are. Bit of oversteer there, and again. Finally there comes Brian and Craig. And again, as I say, others may feel differently, but in a type of session that this is where you're just trying to set a fast lap, someone quick is coming. I never feel like you should be holding them up. Right on the tail of Craig here. Fortunately I missed out on the chance to pass the 11. There you see the blue flag waving. Here begins a little fight with the number 11. I'm not sure if he overshot there or whether it was a deliberate kind of let's go wide, let him go. Either way, I was grateful for it. Meant I could go and try and stick with my 2 colleagues ahead. Unfortunately, at this point, I had no idea where Arthur, our other colleague, was on the track. The downside of using Gridline helmet is they're all yellow, and when you're flying around, it's kind of hard to tell who's who. As you can see here, I expected 2 carts ahead to be long gone, and it really just didn't. Which kind of makes me happy. One thing that was commented on by my colleagues is how much going down that long stretch, you see my hands flexing. It's actually because my gloves are a little on the loose side. They've actually been thrown in the bin after this. Yeah, they're a little loose, and as I was going around, they were just creeping, and by flexing my hands, it was just enough to kind of get the shift back in position. And doing something like this, the last thing you want is your gloves moving, your helmet not to be right. And that's one thing I can say about Gridline guys is they do check your helmet before you go out, make sure that it is safe and secure. You're not going to go out there and suddenly find your helmet flopping around. Number 3 let me go there. As you can see, 2 carts ahead have well and truly checked out by now. I think we've done for a while, but to do a whole event like this, I need to improve. Probably need to lose a little weight as well and work on that. Coming to the midway through the session now, and already you can see it going a bit more clean. Had no reds yet in this session. Had one instant of the blue flag coming out that I was aware of anyway. I know my colleagues did mention at other points around the track that they were getting stuck behind blue flag drivers. See the blue flag just there again. Now I wasn't complaining about too much at this point. It meant the following carts were going to come to me again. So I just wanted to get the maximum performance I could before I caught up. that was an interesting one. I'm not sure what start of that incident was, but certainly caught me off guard coming around and finding the car stuck against the tyre wall. Marshall was right there on hand, get it sorted quick and get us underway again. Yeah, just started to creep, so let that cart get away and try to carry as much speed as I can around over the start finish line. Continue my run of laps. Both still there. Never a good thing for getting lap times. Funny as I sit here watching it though, how many times I'm looking around and going, oh, you could have gone a bit wider there, to use a bit more track there. I'm sure me prior to probably shouting at the screen all the mistakes I'm making. Don't shout at the screen, put it down in the comments so I can learn. Anyway, I'm going to put up for a minute or two and just let you follow the cart around until we get towards the end of the session. Say that, and straight after we get a red come out. I'm not sure what happened between the two carts at the top of the hill. You can see. Marshall certainly wasn't happy with one of the carts there. Quick word with the driver. Did notice while we're sat here is a few carts creeping, went a bit naughty, red flags are out, and yeah, especially with being a marshal on the track, whether they can actually see that or not, kind of irrelevant, but hey ho. Incident sorted and we're back underway. I think at this point we only get a couple more laps in now, but it does unfortunately mean that I've got two carts right ahead of me. No, because you know what, let's go for it. Let's see if we can run them down and possibly pass them. Can't always back off and hope for a clean track that lap time. See the number 8 there, all over the place. I think that is actually colleague Arthur. I know he was in shorts and t-shirt anyway. You don't make the mistake of backing off. Give myself a bit of clean track. And fortunately didn't really work out because we come to the end of the session. But hey ho, live and learn. And you see the checkered flag that's come down the hill. You can still run to the end of your lap. And of course, once you cross this line, you want to just be easy enough. Ready for the return to the pit. As you can see, Ryan Pearce topping the leaderboard again. I'm less than 500 away from Craig this time, which I was quite happy about. But every single person on this session did improve the lap times.